Hey, it's the Ray Rican, and today there's a couple of things we want to talk about. I'm going to first touch on this topic of hate speech and how we have hate crimes, which is like I've said before, it's subjective. That's why I'm not a fan of them. And hate speech is worse. See, because here's the whole thing: hate crime, you already committed a crime. It's just the fact that they're basically making it worse because the fact that someone chose to attack someone based on a certain characteristic. Hate speech, on the other hand, like I said, it's subjective. And at the end of the day, we have the First Amendment. And people go, oh, but there's other countries. There's a lot of countries that have freedom of speech, not like we do. It's not mistaken. In Germany, it's a crime. It's a crime to deny the Holocaust, which that's disgusting in itself to deny the Holocaust. But that it should be a crime, I'm against that. You're allowed to think and say whatever you want. Someone's gonna call you out on it. You may not believe it, but that's on you. Um, but here I'm going to share with you this story out of the UK, and it's basically here's the story. Christian pastor arrested for making homophobic statement after preaching from the Bible. And it goes here, says he was treated shamefully and was doing what my job description says. Now, granted, he was arrested at what and then released without charge. But the fact that he was arrested in the first place, what was he arrested for? So apparently he was arrested. Let me see if it says it in this article. Just want to double check because I found another article why it says he was arrested. Police said they had received complaints the man had been allegedly making homophobic comments and arrested him under the Public Order Act, which can be used under the vague proviso that someone is using abusive or insulting words that can cause harm to someone else. Let's see. So, no. So here it goes. Okay. I wasn't making any homophobic comments. I was just defining marriage as a relationship between a man and a woman, and I was only saying what the Bible says. I wasn't wanting to hurt anyone or cause offense. So there you go. His crime, his big crime. What was his big crime? Quoting from the Bible. Basically, that marriage is a man from between a man and a woman. Now, I remember years ago, me and my best friend, we were discussing this topic one time, and um, the compromise that we had came to was the government should get out of the business of marriage and just say that the the a civil union is between two consenting adults, and leave marriage up to churches, as so like that the state stays out of marriage, and we'll call it they call it this to for the state to recognize it, it'll be called a civil union. That was kind of our compromise years ago, but that's not where we're at now, so it doesn't matter. So what can we just need to be careful that these hate speech laws don't come to this country, because they'll do it incrementally. They'll say, oh, they'll make it something obvious, something that we all agree on, and then it'll go from there. And until we won't recognize where we're at. And that's the danger of incrementalism. That's how they say you could boil a frog because you put them in when the water's cold, and by the time they realize the pot's boiling, it's too late. So, and That's it. That's my spiel on that. Um, and with places opening up, and with places starting to open up somewhat, um, with uh, jobs starting back, and I want to touch on a topic that, as men, we we don't talk about, and because everybody always talks about it with women, um, but it's men in depression, and it's doing some research about this because, oh, to be honest, I grew, my dad's an alcoholic. Let's just not mince words. And he could go long periods of time without drinking, and then go completely fall off the wagon. And I was, trying to figure out what's been going on with him, and I know his drinking's emotional. And when I'm here, so I was just looking into some stuff here, and something I found interesting that, um, I love reading, but this stuff that I didn't realize, where it goes, men who are depressed may appear to be angry or aggressive instead of sad. Their families, friends, and even their doctors may not always recognize the anger or aggression is as depression symptoms. In addition, men are less likely than women to recognize, talk about, and seek treatment for depression. Yet, depression affects a large number of men. And the pandemic has done that to a lot of people. Um, I'm going to say I'm no stranger to it. Um, you um, especially with the isolation of the pandemic, um, not being able to have so much human contact. It's depending on the type of personality you have. There's some people that works for them. They don't like to be around people. I'm an extrovert, like my daughter is. Me and my daughter are extroverts, and we like to be around people, and um, it energizes us. So, like when I take my kids to the park, and I talk to some parents, I come back in vigor. Like today was a day where it's a dreary day and raining, and well, it looked like it was going to rain all day. It finally started raining at sunset. But these type of days, it sucks. Can't take the kids out. Can't go out to walk, even though I'll exercise inside the house in the treadmill. I uh, been doing Insanity, trying to lose some weight, and it's not the same. But and so it's just stuff that men, um, we need to take more care of ourselves with that, um, because the fact that we don't talk about it and we don't even realize it, sometimes, um, like it says here, anger, aggression, that's signs that we show instead of being when we're depressed. Because I think I don't think I'm speaking for myself. I think that we get angry at ourselves when we feel that way. I think that um, that could be what's going on. Um, and you can see here both men and women get depressed, but their willingness to talk about their feelings may be very different. This is one of the reasons that depression symptoms for men and women may be very different. And it goes here, some men's Some men with depression hide their emotions and may seem to be angry, irritable, or aggressive, while many women seem sad or express sadness. Men with depression may feel very tired and lose interest in work, family, or hobbies. They may be more likely to have difficulty sleeping than women who have depression. Sometimes mental health symptoms appear to be physical issues. For example, a racing heart, tightening chest, ongoing headaches, digestive issues can be signs of mental health problems, which was all new to me. I read this, and like I said, I mean, I'm someone who reads a lot and just never came across this. Um, Men are more likely to see their doctors about physical symptoms than emotional symptoms. That I knew. Um, and I know this for everyone. It goes, some men may turn to drugs or alcohol to try to cope with their emotional symptoms. And that's where I come back to my dad. And I'm, I'm trying to figure out how to address this with him and with the family. I mean, how do you speak to a 76-year-old Latino man about maybe your drinking is because of depression? Um, and like it says here, depression can affect any man at any age. Um, I so I'm just, something that, like I said, men we don't talk about. We try to stuff our emotions. Um, we're more comfortable running from them than facing them. So we need to do a better job, if not uh, for our sons, so we could be a better role model to our sons, um, but to be the better men for our wives and better men for our children, not just our sons, but our daughters. And um, there's if you're someone who's watching this and you need someone to talk to, send me a message. Um, you can send me a message. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Gab. I'm on Parlor. I'm on Telegram. I'll put up my Telegram. Actually, I need to put my Telegram on all my social media now that I'm at it. But I'm going to leave it there. I think I hope I got my point across. Um, I'll put a link to this NIH website, just so like that. If anyone thinks that this may be them, read it, reach out. Don't be afraid to reach out. Um, hey, you don't know me from anybody else, and anything that we talk about, uh, you know, it's not gonna go past me. We're not. It's like if I go, hey, one of my, I'm happy one of my followers reached out to me and I was able to help them with their depression. If you tell me not to say your name and stuff like that, it's not gonna happen. It'll just stay, I'll just leave it vague and stuff like that. That's the worst you're gonna get from anything you tell me. And with that being said, like, follow me on YouTube or Rumble, whichever one you prefer to view this on. And please follow me on, like I said, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Parlor, Gab, and Telegram. And so I'm going to post this on Telegram. And with that being said, I hope you guys have a great week.